Hi everyone, Purple Celery here. Welcome back to my channel. So, the finale of Season 1/Series 14 of Doctor Who is finally upon us. So today I'll be reviewing Empire of Death. Now, I'm not going to lie, for me this episode was a mixed bag. I'll start by talking about the things that I enjoyed about the episode. Firstly, visually, this episode looked amazing. I really liked the early scenes where Sutek's dust of death was creeping across the earth and devastating the city and killing people. I liked the shot from the TARDIS looking down onto the continent of Australia. It looked like the dust was slowly encroaching inwards, which probably made like Alice Springs the last town on Earth still standing. I also enjoyed the little callbacks to previous Doctors in this episode. That scene in the, what do they call it, the Remember TARDIS, where Mel sees the coat that belonged to the 6th Doctor and she kind of like strokes the sleeve. That was really sweet and a nice little callback. It was also fun to see the little clips of the 4th Doctor and Sarah Jane from the Pyramids of Mars serial. I was also glad that we got a brief explanation as to who Sutek was, because I think that that was necessary for newer viewers. There were also a couple of scenes that I particularly enjoyed in this episode. The first one was between the Doctor and I don't think that we got her name, so I'm just going to call her Spoon Lady. It was the lady dressed in the rags on that planet who gives the Doctor a spoon. I liked that scene a lot because it showed the devastating slow effects that Sutek's death dust had on normal people. And that part where Spoon Lady reveals that she suddenly remembered that her baby is probably dead, that was really, really chilling. The other scene that touched my heart was the one towards the end where Ruby meets her mum in the coffee shop. The dialogue was spot on. It was like a really sweet, touching scene. I also liked the part where the Doctor realises that he is indirectly responsible for killing off the whole universe. All the places that he's been to, all the fun that he's had has indirectly caused all those planets and all those people to die. I'm sure there's like a metaphor for COVID or HIV in there somewhere. But yeah, look, that was a really interesting touch. Having said that though, there were some things that made me go, about this episode. I had quite a few questions. The first one being, I didn't quite understand how the DNA database still existed in the year 2046. If Sutek killed everyone in 2024, shouldn't that mean that Roger ap Gwilym never becomes Prime Minister and the DNA database is never created? So I didn't quite get how that could exist in 2046. There was some brief explanation that we got, but I didn't quite catch it or understand it. I guess it's the case maybe that Sutek's death dust killed everybody at like all points in time in the past, the present and the future. But yeah, that just made me kind of scratch my head a bit. Another thing that I didn't quite understand was why was Sutek so obsessed with the mystery of who Ruby's mum was. Ruby's real mum, that is. Sorry, biological mum. I should really get this terminology correct. I mean, yeah, look, I kind of get the explanation that everybody, including the Doctor and Ruby, etc., built up this mystery so much that it kind of became important. But surely there's a few more fascinating mysteries that would attract Sutek. I mean, you know, did the Loch Ness Monster really exist? What happened to Amelia Earhart? Things like that. I also want to talk about the reveal of who Ruby's biological mother was. So it turns out that she was a perfectly ordinary, average woman, which I'm actually fine with. That was a nice twist. But the thing that I didn't quite get was, back in 2004 when she was dropping Ruby off at the church, why was she wearing that like full-on hood and cloak and everything? I mean, yeah, look, I get that she didn't want people to identify her, but why not just wear like a jacket or a beanie or, I don't know, sunglasses even or something? And why did she like point dramatically at the Ruby Road sign? Why not just like write a note saying, you know, I want my baby to be named Ruby? It was all so overly dramatic. And yeah, look, I get that the mid-noughties was kind of like the era of emo kids and My Chemical Romance, but yeah, look, it just seemed a bit over the top. Now, on to Mrs. Flood. I had a bit of an issue with Mrs. Flood breaking the fourth wall at the end. To me, that's not quite Doctor Who. I also thought in this episode there were a few too many extraneous characters. For example, Rose Noble didn't really get any lines, I don't think. So in that respect, I felt like it was like a bit of a wasted opportunity. I also was a bit disappointed that we never did get to find out who Mrs. Flood was, that we never got to see the Doctor reunite with his granddaughter Susan. Maybe those things are coming in the next season of Doctor Who. I certainly hope so, but I felt like a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to see them in this episode. So overall, I found Empire of Death a little bit underwhelming. Like, it wasn't like a bad episode, it still kept me engrossed, I still enjoyed it, but I think in terms of the two-parter finale, the first episode was better than this episode. So I would probably give this 7 out of 10. But as always, these are just my thoughts. What do you guys think about Empire of Death? Please leave your comments in the comment section below. I always love hearing what you guys write, so please don't be shy, don't hold back. If you've liked this video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I do want to do a video that takes an overall look at Series 14/Season 1 as a whole. I do have quite a lot of thoughts that I want to share with you fine people, for example about things like the ordering of the episodes and the dynamic between the Doctor and Ruby. So I will try to get that out in the next week or so, so please stick around for that. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Take care and I'll see you next time.